All right, welcome to February, Aries. This is your monthly tarot reading for the month of February 2025. Also, whenever you, come across this video, even if it's not around February, I always say there is definitely a reason for that. So if you were drawn by the title or something, definitely listen, and this could resonate at any time for you. So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Pisces out there. Or sorry, Pisces, Aries. I just did Pisces, so I got Pisces on the brain. But Aries, we'll see what's going on for you. How is the first part of the first month of 2025? Now we're moving into the second month here. We're still in winter in the north, but the days are starting to get, the sunlight's starting to stay up longer. The days are getting longer, so that's always nice. So Aries, we still have Mars in retrograde through the 23rd of February, so there's still going to be that lingering, kind of unmotivating, kind of slow energy. And since this is kind of starting to be the tail end this month, there might be starting to feel a little frustration around that. Mars moved into Cancer in January, so that Mars and Cancer energy definitely are not the best together. So when there's opposing energies, definitely towards the end of like that connection, you definitely start feeling a little frustration around that. So, well, let's see what the foundational energies in February are for you. So delight, happiness. Ooh, I like both of these cards. Success. So something that first popped up for me that I am picking up. So potentially something happened that was kind of unexpected, something out of nowhere, that was like delightful for you. You felt like, oh, and this kind of was like, oh, this has turned into something that has actually been really nice for you, Aries. That's made you happy. And I feel like in this, whatever this is, you're kind of, ultimately, this is going to lead to some sort of success for you in some aspect, which is always nice, right? But there's some sort, delights are like little unexpected, niceties that occur. But I do feel like it has led to something that's really been good for you. This could be a job or some sort of path that opened up. But let's see. Let's get some more from the tarot. I got the Manga Tarot for you today. So we have the Devil. Okay. The Seven of Cups. The King of Cups. Ace of Swords. Whoa, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. And then the Nine of Cups. So there's definitely some new beginning that opened up for you. This could have already happened, or this could be happening, like unfolding for you in February, with the two aces. And then, like I said earlier, with this situation, is something interesting here, because I do feel like with the Devil, the Six of Cups, the Seven of Cups and the King of Cups. So there could be a karmic relationship that you're tied to. The Devil would indicate like a karmic situation here with this person. It's created a lot of confusion for you in regards to what is it do you really want. I think maybe you're assessing that right now. Is this something I want? Like, what is it that I really want? What are my needs and desires? And really facing that truth. There could be something around assessing, like, does this person, are they really aligned with, you know, what I really want? And are we aligned there? And there is some sort of potentially like facing this truth or this communication, some sort of communication about clearing the confusion in regards to this, which is aligning you with a path that's you're really passionate about, something that really inspires you. And again, the Nine of Cups is really about like your wish or something that you really want. So I think there's potentially something that's not aligned with this situation or person, and you're trying to figure this out, or you have been trying to figure it out. Just to note that Mercury does move into Pisces in February on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And Mercury is ruled by Gemini, which is about communication. And, you know, it's really thinking in new ways. And tied with that Piscean energy, you're really going to align the emotions with that mental body. And you're going to start thinking more in regards to, which is so aligned with this, with like your imagination, with your creativity, really looking at, you know, the deep needs and like your heart desires here. And there's that passion here with the wand, the Ace of Wands. So you might be really diving deep because, I mean, you're a fire sign, so this makes sense. And I feel like you're really wanting to feel and be inspired and create more and just feeling more passion in regards to your life and potentially your relationship. So I do feel like you are needing to get first on the right page with yourself. Like, what is it right with these Two Cups cards? Like, what is it I really want? I do feel like you have different options in regards to that, but you need to figure that out, and then you can clearly communicate that with some person here. I'm gonna see what the Devil's about here quick. The Fool. So this could be a karmic relationship that you've been in for a while, and it's like you're getting to a point of like potentially wanting to take like a leap of faith and going on a new path. This is you, the Fool is you starting a new path and leaving behind anything that's, again, something that is toxic or karmic that's been challenging for you. You're really wanting to cut, you know, the ties that have binded you to the past as well. And like freeing yourself from some difficult things. So you're on the Fool's path moving forward and wanting to kind of create some new things this year. And it's kind of figuring out like, are the things that are going on right now aligned with that? So let's get a couple more. Yeah, Nine of Swords. Definitely a lot of worry and anxiety over this. You could just be dealing with anxiety in general and trying to really look at the root here of the stem of all this overthinking. The Moon. Yeah, and this is really what this fear and anxiety is rooted in is a lot of deep emotional, potentially wounds or trauma from the past. And I think you're really like, in the Nine of Swords card here, he's like covering his head and looking the other way from the Moon card. So it's almost like you're really not wanting to look at the moon. You're not wanting to look at this deep stuff. You've been avoiding it. And that's what's causing this anxiety for you and this fear. So this is something that you're being asked to really work through. The King of Coins. So we have the King of Cups, the King of Coins. So you could be tied with a water sign or an earth sign. The water would be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, and the earth signs would be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. But we'll have to get more on that king that kind of popped up. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, the Judgment. So I feel like you've been really managing your emotions through stubbornness, control, like pushing things down. It's almost like you've been unwilling to really go there. This could be you or someone you're tied to, depending what resonates for you. But the Wheel of Fortune is really like, there is destiny and fate is kind of needs you to go somewhere, but it needs you to like open your eyes. It needs you to stop being in kind of denial about something that's important for you to face or deal with or work through to move forward here. But then ultimately what's coming up here in the future is Judgment. So there is some sort of reconciliation that needs to happen. Like, this is the universe really saying, okay, you can't sit on the fence anymore, or you can't just sit here at the fork in the road and him and ha about, your fear and anxiety about what path to take. So there is a choice that has to, it's like you have to actually make a decision, and you're going to be forced to, I feel. This could be tied to this King of Coins. Someone you're tied to, they could be initiating that kind of, could be an ultimatum on you about making a decision about something. Page of Wands. So this could go back to childhood for you. Then we have another king here, the King of Swords. And then the Four of Cups. I almost am picking up someone as, if this is you or someone you're tied to, I feel like you're going to be a little stubborn about this ultimatum, or this, like, what decision, like a decision has to be made. Like, you're still like, this could be a little bit about always feeling like you're the victim in the situation, and like you're being victimized by being forced to make a decision. But ultimately, I do feel like someone is being a little stuck in the mud, a little stubborn about this, and not wanting to whatever, to like face reality because of your fear. And someone finally kind of channels their King of Swords. So someone, you have the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords. So someone is finally kind of putting their, I do sometimes channel the King of Swords as being someone who's like, someone who finally puts their foot down in regards to something. And like, there's some really clear communication that happens, because that's the swords, right? And the King and Queen of Swords are very, they know how to clearly communicate, but they can communicate a little, a little too coldly, or like very straightforward. But I do feel like when we see the Emperor here and this King of Swords needing to communicate with the Emperor, right? He's not going to be wishy-washy and emotional about it. He's going to be very, like, approaching it very maturely, very strongly and clear. This is like no bullshitting. It's like, let's get to the details here about this. But what's interesting, I feel like the other person kind of then almost feels like, well, they're being too mean, or I'm being the victim here. But what's funny is you're really the Emperor. So you've been channeling this Emperor energy of like stubbornness and needing to control everything. And then all of a sudden, because someone finally wants to face the truth, then it's like, oh, I'm the victim here. So there's a little bit of that going on. I mean, so this could, maybe it resonates with you, the person that you're dealing with. This is all tied to like wounds and heartache, whatever, betrayals from the past. So something has definitely been challenging from a heart space for you. It could be this relationship, and that to really face the reality that, I think part of it is that you don't want to face reality because this could end in heartache, which makes sense. But sometimes we keep avoiding the truth to something because we know that in the end, to face the truth is gonna, is also going to create some emotional heartache. What's with the King of Pentacles here? Five of Swords. So exactly what I just said. There's this dynamic here of this, like, there's like this manipulation going on. It could be gaslighting again. And it's like, there's definitely this aspect of like, someone's really standing in this Emperor energy. But then in reality, like anyone who tries to challenge the Emperor, it's like, oh, poor me. Or like they tend to lash out a little bit or try to take back control. But the point is here, the ultimate point is there's two people involved. I feel like there's definitely, this is referring to some sort of connection or dynamic. Both of you have needs and desires and dreams and wants. And ultimately, people tend to avoid, a lot of relationships tend to avoid facing the truth that maybe the two are just not compatible. But the point is, you both deserve to experience a life that fulfills you, that aligns with, you know, your vision, aligns with your desires and needs and blah, blah, blah. And so, yes, it could mean a difficult decision that has to be made, or that facing that reality and making changes, which potentially means you have to move on. And that can be really heartbreaking because it doesn't mean you don't care about each other and love each other. But that's what I feel like is happening here. But the point is, whether it's one of you or both of you, someone's not willing. There's a lot of stubborn energy here and controlling energy. So someone's really not willing to because part of it is the root is again tied back to some deep emotions that obviously I feel like is tied to other things in the past, like our childhood. And the only way to really overcome these sort of personality characteristics or traits or patterns is to really work through this hurt. Because for one, if someone's not willing to go there, most of the time they do have some protective, like, shields energetically up. That's going to prevent them from really, for one, being vulnerable with others, two, being able to fulfill other people's needs because they're not even willing to look at their own needs. And most of the time, some of those people are going to always, they're so wounded that they just need. They need other people to fill them. But then as soon as another person asks them, well, hey, I have needs and can you fulfill my needs? They immediately see it as like, oh my gosh, like this person's trying to control me, or like they don't know how to give in that aspect. So that's what I'm kind of feeling here. This is a really complicated, as you can tell, this seems to be a really complicated dynamic. But I like this, how this unfolds though underneath here. I like that there's really you. I do feel like it's you really be learning to be the Fool and encompassing the Fool journey and facing this stuff, leaving some of this pain in the past and trying to work through it finally, and identifying like, what is it that I really need and desire moving forward, especially if you're connected to, if the Emperor is the person you're connected to. I definitely feel like it's time to face the truth and speak the truth and move forward towards what you really want at this point in your life. Because I do feel like something's happening with the Oracle cards, like saying that something else in your life is really blooming, like something really is calling to you that's going to be aligning you with stuff that are really going to, for one, bring in success and happiness. So that's what's calling to you. So this is, all of this is in the way, which is a lot. So I hope, I mean, I do think like there is some great aspects to this reading, even though there's a lot to think through here, Aries. But definitely, if this resonated, hit that like button, share this if you feel like someone else, you know, this might help them. But yeah, enjoy your February Aries, don't get too stuck in the head in your anxiety here. But I will be seeing you in the next reading. Make sure to check out the weekly readings as well, and maybe that can give you a little bit more perspective as we work through the month. All right, bye for now, Aries.